Thank you, Mr. Notley. Member statements. Member from Weldon, Mr. Bromley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there can be no doubt that the people of the Northwest Territories are concerned about fracking. Later today, I will table a petition with close to 800 signatures from people in the Sawtoo and across the Northwest Territories expressing concern about fracking and insisting that this government exert its authority to refer future applications to a full environmental assessment. The stated reasons for their concerns include, number one, horizontal hydraulic fracturing, or fracking, is new to the NWT and is clearly controversial. It is banned or under moratorium in many places in the world. Number two, fracking permanently contaminates very large volumes of fresh water. This does not match the NWT water stewardship strategy. Number three, in other places, fracking brought lots of outside workers, alcohol, illegal drugs, and crime with it. We don't have a plan to deal with an increase in these social issues. Number four, fracking will require transporting toxic fracking chemicals and polluted wastewater through our communities, along our highways, and on the Mackenzie River. NWT workers will also be exposed to these hazardous substances. Number five, Sawtoo elders tell us that water flows through the deep geology of the Sawtoo and that different areas are connected in ways that science has not documented. We also know that underground networks of fractured rock and wells will eventually leak. Number six, we have to look at the bigger picture. Our land, water, wildlife, cultures, communities, and economies are already under stress and will suffer from the additional stress of fracking and associated development. Number seven, extracting oil and gas increases greenhouse gas emissions and makes global climate change happen faster. Greenhouse gas emissions come both directly from the fracking operation and from burning the oil and gas that is extracted. And number eight, the decision to allow fracking in the NWT without an environmental assessment has created tension in the Sawtoo and across the Northwest Territories. Under the Mackenzie Valley Resource Management Act, every agency of this government had the authority to refer fracking applications for environmental assessment, yet fracking has already begun in the Sawtoo without an environmental assessment. The list of accidents and spills has already begun to add up. Just in the last 2 days, 2 trucks carrying fracking wastewater have rolled over, both perilously close to rivers. And Mr. Speaker, I seek unanimous consent to conclude my statement.
Thank you, Mr. Bromley. Members seeking unanimous consent to conclude the statement. Are there any nays? There are no nays. Mr. Bromley, you may conclude your statement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I mentioned, both trucks carrying highly polluted and toxic water rolled over very close to rivers. Fortunately, none spilled. The ConocoPhillips site has had to shut down after a worker was seriously injured, and several holding dams and tanks have failed already. People are concerned, and they have every right to be. Many people are talking about a moratorium on fracking, but at a very minimum, we need to do environmental assessments on these projects to respond to people's concerns.
Thank you, Mr. Bromley. Member State.